Yeah, I think it's audible, it's visible. Okay. Hello everyone. Yeah, welcome to our mathematics. Okay, now this is the first topic. This lies somewhere in between mathematics and app and reasoning. This is clocks. Okay, now it has both the components. It has the very basic logics that work and some mathematical formulas that also work here. So it is a mix of both. Now let's see this. So now first thing is the kind of questions that we see in this chapter. Okay, now there are three major kind of questions. We'll try to cover them all within this lecture. This is first is angle between hands. Okay, minute hand and hour hand. What is the angle between them, that is usually asked, or some angle is given and then it is asked tell the times. The other is finding angle repetition. Okay, so some particular angle they'll give you, for example they will tell you that the minute hand and hour hand is at 30 degrees, then how many times this occurs in a day, something like this. Then the last is faulty clocks, where we'll see that when the clock is not working fine or something is given like this clock is this much fast or this much slow, then how you deal with it. Okay, so these are the three main areas. Now let me check if audio, video, everything is good. Yeah, good afternoon. Happy Ram Navami. Yeah, good afternoon. Okay, yeah. So now, number of questions from this chapter. Now, this is a very interesting pattern that we have here. Okay, now, if you look at clocks, so basically, if you see, then sometimes there are two questions. In some other years, there are no questions. So if you see here carefully, this was two questions in 2023, then 0 in 2024, and sorry, this was two questions in 2022, 0 in 2023, 2 in 2024, 0 in 2025. In all probability, if you go by this series, you will have two questions in 2026. Okay, now if this is so then this becomes an important chapter. So let's get started with it. Now first thing is the very core of clock. You must have seen clock, very basic. I have already written, that's why this is hour hand, this is minute hand, this is seconds hand. Now the speeds of these hands are important. Now understand this, a very simple thing. So if you look here, then this clock is made up of in total 360 degrees. Now you tell me in 1 hour how much does a minute clock moves, sorry, minute hand moves. So minute hand very clearly moves complete 360 degree, correct? This will go from here and come back to 12 in 1 hour. Now if this is so, then in 360 it covers 360 degree in 60 minutes. If it covers 360 degree in 60 minutes, that means it covers 6 degree in 1 minute. I have divided both sides by 60, and that is why the speed of the minute hand is 6 degree per minute. Similarly, let's calculate for hour hand. Now hour hand, right now it is at 3 exactly. Then after an hour it will go at 4, correct? It will go at 4. Now how much is this angle from 3 to 4? Very simple. So if the complete angle is 360, this 360 is divided into 12 parts, 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, like this. Now 360 by 12, what you get? You get 30 degree. That means the angle that the hour hand will cover from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock will be 30 degrees. That means 30 degrees in how many minutes? 60 minutes. If 30 degrees in 60 minutes, then of course it is half degree in 1 minute, and that is why the speed, that is half degree per minute. In seconds we don't even have to do this. So this is in 1 minute, the second hand will go completely and come back here. So 360 degree per minute. These speeds are somewhat useful. Understood? 6 degree per minute, half degree per minute, and this is fine. Then let's find out how we calculate angle between minute hand and hour hand of a clock. Now this is the formula. From this you can get the angle. Now in this formula, how it works? Let's see this. Now if I were to calculate that at 7:30, what is the angle between the minute hand and hour hand? Then what I'll do, I will just put the values here. So 60 is there. In place of h, I will put 7. In place of m, I will put 30, and then divided by 2. Correct? 60 into 7, 6 sevens are 42, so this becomes 420 minus 30 into 11 is 330 by 2. What this becomes? This becomes 90. 90 by 2 is equals to 45 degree. And this is also correct. Correct? If you can feel that 730 looks something like this. Correct? So this is 45 degree. Now, so 45 degree is the angle. Now, one thing you have to be careful about here is that when you write a formula like this, 60h minus 11m by 2, actually the hour hand is ahead of the minute hand. Then only you will get the angle as positive. Correct? Then only you will get this positive, and the angle would be positive. If this comes out to be negative, it only means one single thing, that here in that particular case, if it comes out negative, minute hand was ahead of the hour hand. Understood? Now one more thing, please remember this in questions. If only angle is given, then you will always get two values of time. Why two values of time? Can you feel this? So basically, as you saw here, this is 7:45, this is 45 degree. The angle between minute hand and hour hand. Now tell me about one more scenario. So if you see, it goes from here to here, so minute hand moves slightly, let's say here. Okay, the hour hand moves slightly here, the minute hand moves much more. Can they not form a 45 degree angle here also? Is it not possible? So there are two possibilities. One time which is ahead, hour hand is ahead, and in the other time which is ahead, this minute hand is ahead. So there are always two possibilities. Okay, so if random angle is given, then you will get two values of time. Understood? Okay, then let's get started with the PYQs. So how I have divided this chapter? So because there are three different parts, so we'll see the theory of each of them separately, and with the theory then we'll do the PYQs, theory, PYQs, theory, PYQs. Now it says an accurate clock shows 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, through how many degrees will the hour hand rotate when the clock shows 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Fairly easy. 2 o'clock in the afternoon from 8. So from 8 to 2. From 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock, how many hours? This is very clearly 6 hours. Correct? 4 and plus 2. Now in 6 hours, how much will the hour hand rotate? Hour hand goes at what speed? This is the time into, so this goes half degree per minute. Correct? Or the easier one, that is 30 degree per hour. How you got 30 degree per hour? If you remember how we were calculating it, from 3 to 4 the hour hand went, and it was actually 30 degrees in 1 hour. So 30 degree per hour, and total how many hours? 6 hours. Just multiply them. So what is the angle? 180 degree. Answer becomes C, that is 180. Yes, Nandini, good afternoon. Okay, now so this goes 180 degree. Understood? Also you can just observe it. If you see, this is 8 and this is 2. Very clearly this is what? This is 180 degrees. Then now what is the angle between minute hand and hour hand of a clock when it shows 4:25? This is from CSAT 2024. Now let's do this. So it says 4:25. This is the time. Angle is what? 60h minus 11m by 2. Correct? Now you just have to put the values and get the answer. So let's put it 60. H is what? 4 minus 11. M is 25 by 2. 6 4s are 24. So this becomes 240. 11 into 25. 250. 250 plus 25 becomes what? 275 by 2. Correct? Then 240 minus 275 is what? Minus of 35 by 2. Minus of 35 by 2 is equivalent to minus of 17.5 degree. Now, don't be confused by the minus. Why? Minus only means what? That in this case, and which is true also, at 425, this is 4 and somewhere close to 5 is 25, correct? So at 425, the minute hand is very clearly ahead of the hour hand. That's why you're getting it as negative. So it is only asking you the angle. What is the angle? Very clearly 17.5 degree. Understood? Now, next. It says between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. the minute hand of a clock will be ahead of the hour hand by 3 minutes at what time? Yes, Anurag, correct. Yes, Snigdha. Okay, now 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. and it is asking you the clock is ahead of the hour hand by 3 minutes at what time? Ahead by 3 minutes. Now, see, what does 3 minute ahead mean? Now, which hand is ahead? Our hand, sorry, at between this, the minute hand of a clock will be ahead of the hour hand by 3 minutes. Which is ahead? Minute hand is ahead of hour hand. That means whatever is the angle, it has to be negative. Okay, this you had to guess from the question because it was saying that the minute hand is ahead of hour hand. That means the angle would be negative. Now, 3 minutes is equivalent to what angle? So, 60 minutes is equivalent to 360 degree. Then you just divide both sides by 20. So, I divide both sides by 20. What I get? This is cancelled out. So, 3 minutes. Now, 360 by 20. 0, 0 cancel. 36 by 2, 18 degree. So, that means 3 minutes ahead behind whatever is equivalent to 18 degree. But according to the question, we must take it negative. Correct? So this becomes what? Angle becomes minus 18 degree. This is equals to 60h minus 11m by 2. Correct? You are finding time between 6 and 7 p.m. 6 and 7 p.m. So what will the time look like? The time will look like something like 6x5. So in h, what you will take? You will take 6. In m is what you are trying to find. You are trying to find that time when this minute hand is ahead of our hand by 3 minutes. So just put the values, very easy now. 60 into 6 minus 11m by 2 is equals to minus 18. 18 into 2 becomes what? Minus of 36 is equals to 60 into 6 is 360 minus 11m. Correct? Now 11m you can send here, so it becomes 11m. 360 plus 36 is 396. Then m came out to be 396 by 11. How many times this will go? This goes 3 times. What remains? 6. With 66 it goes 6 times. So this is 36 minutes. So answer became what? 6 hours and 36 minutes. Okay. Now, by the way, if you didn't want to solve all of this, you could have done this directly also without doing any calculation. How? Just by having a feel for the time. For example, ultimately you got that the difference is of 3 minutes. That means the angle difference has to be of 18 degree. Now, what is 18 degree look like? See the first option, 615 will look something like this. This is almost 90, correct? Not 18 degree. 618 will look something like just little ahead of 15, but still very close to 70, 80, correct? So this also does not look like 18 degrees, 648. Now this goes in other direction, again even more than 90, correct? So this is also not 18 degree. In all possibility, if you look at 636, this is 636, this is very close to being 18 degrees. So answer becomes C. Okay, just like in that question also, you could have done that just by observation. From 8 to 2, it is very clearly 180 degree. And that is why this is also a topic of reasoning. Anyway, then next, at which of the following times do hour hand and minute hand of a clock make an angle 180 degree with each other? Try this. You can also do it. The options are made in such a way that you don't have to calculate even. If you can just feel it. Okay, so 180 degree you have to make. Now, if you observe, if this is 7, now, if you just consider it to be a straight line like this, then you might feel that the answer is 7, 5. But that is wrong. Why that is wrong? Because when the minute hand starts moving, the hour hand is also moving, correct? So in 5 minutes, you have taken that the minute hand has moved this much. That you have taken correctly. But in those 5 minutes, the hour hand will also move. By what degree? Very small degree. What is that? That will be 5 minutes into half. Half degree per minute was the speed, remember, of the hour hand. So 5 into half becomes 2.5 degree. That means it won't be exactly at 7. It will be slightly ahead of 7. And that is why here you cannot get it exactly at 1. It will come somewhere here, somewhere ahead and like this, just little ahead. So it will be between 7, 5 and 7, 10. If you can feel this, so answer becomes between 7, 5 and 7, 10. If you don't want to do all this, you like calculation in life, then what you can do, you can simply put 180 here is equals to 60. In place of h, you can put this is 7 hours something something. So 7 minute you don't know, so minus 11m by 2. 2 you can multiply there, this becomes 360 is equals to 6 sevens are 420 minus 11m. So this becomes 11m is equals to 420 minus 360 is 60. M came out to be 60 by 11, which is what? It goes 5 times, correct? Then what remains? 5 remains, and this is division by 11. So basically 5 point something something. So 5 point something is what you get. 5 point something means what? Between 7, 5 and 7, 10. So D becomes your answer. Yes, Nandini, correct. Yes, Neelam. Yes, Dheeraj. Okay. Okay. So these are the two ways in which you can do. Now, this is it for the basic ones, that is finding out the angle between them. Now we'll see how you find the repetition of angles. Now, fixed angle repetition. First, let's understand this, what I am trying to say here. Now, this you see carefully, most students get confused here. Okay, now, the thing is that if you want to calculate, this is 12, this is 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to calculate, I ask you, when do the hour hand and minute hand of a clock coincide? Can you tell me any time when you see them coinciding in a clock? Coinciding means just one above other, that is at 0 degrees. you can see it at exactly 12 am or 12 pm. This you can feel, correct, that at 12 you see it like this, coinciding. Minute hand, hour hand, both are coinciding. Now after this, when do they coincide again? If you try to calculate this, now let's try to calculate this. After this, when do they coincide? Now, so angle is equals to 60h minus 11m by 2. Correct. Now what is the angle you are looking for? You are looking for 0 degree. Now let's try to find out using, if it coincides between 12 and 1, then it will look something like 12xy. So this is 12 minus 11m by 2. 2 you can send there, it becomes 0. Ultimately what you are getting, m will 11m is equals to 60 into 12 is 720. M came out to be 720 by 11. 720 by 11, how many times this will go? How many times? This goes 6 times, 66. Then 6 remains with 60, this goes 5 times. Then what remains? 5 remains with 60, this goes 5 times, 5 remains. So 65, 5 by 11 minutes is what you got. Now that means in 12 o'clock, if you add 65 5 by 11 minutes, what you will get? What you will get? 60 minute itself is 1 hour, correct? So that means the time that you get is 1 hour 5 minutes, 1 hour 5 and 5 by 11 minutes. This is the next time when the hands of the clock coincide. This you understand? Correct? So that means the difference of 65 5 by 11 becomes very important. Why? Why do you think so? See, ultimately these are what? All these hands are moving at a uniform speed. So whatever is the difference here, that is 65 5 by 11, after at what time they will coincide again, that will be after again. So basically again and again, if you keep repeating this time, they will keep on coinciding. That means the clock, in a clock, the minute hand and hour hand coincide every 65 5 by 11 minutes. Now if they do so, that they coincide every 65 5 by 11 minutes, then can you tell me that in 12 hours how many times will they coincide? How many times will they coincide? They'll coincide. Yes, relative speed, Dheeraj. How many times they will coincide? So they can only coincide if you take 65 5 by 11. How many times 65 5 by 11 can be contained in 12 hours? So very clearly it can be contained only, this is this multiplied by 11. Correct? If you multiply them, you will get exact 720. Correct? That is how you got it by division also. Correct? So in exact 12 hours, you get 11 times when it coincides. So in 12 hours, the minute hand and hour hand of a clock coincides 11 times. Understood? This is the whole concept that goes behind it. Now UPSC has asked for this, that is coincidence, but questions can also be made when, how many times do they make 30 degree, do they make 90 degree, and it goes on like this. Okay, now if you get all of this, ultimately it will become very easy for you. I have devised this, that it will become a one line thing for you. Okay, now if you understand this, now let's see the formula directly. Okay, now this is not a standard formula, so what you have to do, if you just follow this, you can solve all the questions like this. Now first thing, if the angle is 0 or 180 and the other is for any other angle, why I have separated 0 and 180 degree? Because 0 and 180 degree are angles where the direction does not matter. That means hour hand is ahead or minute hand is ahead, this does not matter. Correct? Because 0 degree is also equals to minus 0 degree, and 180 degree and minus 180 degree also gives you the same time. Can you feel this? If this is 180 degree in the clockwise direction, where you reach to the 6. From here if you go, again you will get to 180 degree from anti-clockwise also. So 0 and 180, because the directions do not matter, that's why you only have to take number of hours in the range. Whatever is the number of hours in the range, then minus you have to do something which is count for the time, where the exact time where they will form that angle. For example, why we are doing something like this? So the thing is that if you look, so between 1 and 2, the clock coincides once. Between 2 and 3, it again coincides once. Between 3 and 4, again it coincides once. It goes on like this. But if you look between 11 to 1, ideally this is 2 hours, so it should coincide twice, but it does not. It only coincides at 12. It only coincides at 12. So this is where you lose that 1, and which is why you got the answer as in 12 hours it is coinciding 11 times. So you will have to subtract these perfect times for that particular angle, and that will give you the answer. Now see how it works. So if I ask you that in, let's say, 24 hours, in 24 hours, or let's take something more, like 24 hours, that is one day, how many times do they form 180 degree angle? Minute hand and hour hand, how many times do they form 180 degree angle? So what you will do, number of hours in the range, which is 24, minus count for the time. Okay, so now if this is 24 hours, we have taken 12-hour clocks. Correct? So it will keep on. So how many times will you find 6 p.m. exactly? 6 p.m. you will find twice. One is 6 p.m. and the other would be 6 a.m. How many times you will have this 180 degree exactly? 2 times. So 24 minus 2, this gives you the answer 22. This is the number of repetitions of 180 degree in 24 hours. Similarly, you can do for 0 also. Now, if you calculate for any other angle, then it will be 2 into number of hours in the range minus count for that particular fixed time, o'clock, whatever is there, that gives you the number of angle repetitions. For example, if somebody asks you that in 12 hours, how many times 30 degrees form? In 12 hours, how many times 30 degrees form? So what you have to do, 2 into 12 hours minus count the time in 12 hours, starting from 12 p.m. you goes to 12 a.m. What are the times you will get 30 degree? So 30 degree you can get exactly at 1 as well as at 11. So these are the 2 times you will have to subtract. So it becomes 2 into 12, 24, 24 minus 2, that is 22. Understood? Now, let's see the question. We'll understand better. Now, so this is the question. It says the number of times in a day the hour hand and minute hand of a clock are at right angles is. Right angles is any other angle, correct? Now, that means 2 into number of hours in range minus what times you will subtract? You will subtract 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. correct? Because these are the perfect angles for 90 degree, and this gives you the number of repetitions. Now, 2 into number of hours in the range, how many hours you have? Number of times in a day. So how many? You have 24 hours. Now, how many times will you have this 3 and 9? So you will have this 3, you will have twice, correct? 3 p.m., 3 a.m. and 9 also you will have twice, 9 p.m., 9 a.m. So you have to subtract 4. 2 into 24 is 48, 48 minus 4 is 44. So answer becomes A, 44. Understood? Anybody? Any issue? Then, let's do this. So now it says how many times do the hour hand and minute hand of a clock coincide between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. of the same day. 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Again, this is about coincide. Correct? Now, so this is 10 to 2. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. How many hours? This is very clearly 4 hours. So number of hours in range is 4 minus. You have to count when you get this perfect angle. Coincide, that means you are searching for 12 o'clock. Is 12 o'clock there? Yes. How many times? Only once. Correct? So this becomes 4 minus 1. Answer is 3. So how many times does it coincide? Answer becomes 3. Understood? Okay, now this is 0 or 180 degree. This is in 12 hour and this is in 24 hour, and this is any other angle. So 0 or 180 degree in 12 hours is formed 11 times. In 24 hours it is formed 22 times. Any other angle is formed 22 times here and 44 times here. But always be careful that in sometimes in question they won't be giving you 12 hours and 24 hours directly. For example, what they gave here, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now this is only 4 hours. Correct? Now if you try to do it using division here, you will get a wrong answer. Correct? Because let's say you try to say that in 12 hours it was 11, so in 4 hours you just divide it by 3, then you will start getting 3 point something something. So what should you mark? You should mark 4 times or 3 times. So that becomes an issue. That is why you can remember this table that is usually given in books, but also try to remember that we always have to take the range and then we have to subtract the perfect times from it to get to the number of repeated angles. Then next is, you can try this. Yeah, you can try this. Try this. The hour and minute hands of a clock move without jerking. This is a general statement. The clock shows a time between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Okay. The two hands of the clock are one above the other. What do you think? What do you think? Now, if you see here, it works like this. So basically, it is asking you that between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock it is there, the two hands are one above other. So this is some time when the hour hand and minute hand are coinciding between 8 and 9. Now it is asking you when will be the next time they coincide again. So what is the difference? The difference between two coincidences is 65 5 by 11 minutes. Correct? So it is asking you to the nearest integers. What will be the answer? Answer will be C, that is 65. Okay. Then next is faulty clocks. Yes, Meet. Yes, Shweta. Correct. Now faulty clocks, we usually see two kinds of question. One is about gain or loss, how much is the gain or loss, and some meeting time is given, and the other is based on different, like this clock is 5 minutes slow, 10 minutes slow, like that they give. Now let's see this. So first, a clock is set right at 8 a.m. in the morning. Then the minute hand and the hour hand of a clock comes together every 65 minutes. Okay, what is the actual time when the clock shows 8 p.m. approximated to nearest minutes? Now, first understand how this clock is faulty. Correct. Now it is saying that they meet every 65 minutes. Okay, this is what is known, that they meet every 65 minutes. But what is the ideal time of coincidence between minute hand and hour hand? The ideal time is not 65, it is actually 65 5 by 11 minutes. Correct? This you understand? It is actually 65 5 by 11 minutes. That means this clock is moving fast or slow. Ideally it should have met at 65 5 by 11 minute, but it is actually meeting earlier. That is just within 65 minute it meets. That means what? That the clock is actually fast. Correct? If the clock is fast, then whatever time it shows, let's say it is showing 8:15 p.m. What do you think about the actual time? This clock is fast, it is showing 8:15 p.m. What might be the actual time? The actual time may be something less. Correct? For example, it may be 8:10 p.m. It may be 8:12 p.m. like this. Something less than 8:15. That is for sure. Can it be 8:16? Of course not. Why? Because this clock is fast. So the actual time will be something lesser. Now, applying the same logic here, it shows when the clock shows 8 p.m. So clock is exactly showing 8 p.m. Now, if the clock is showing 8 p.m., what is the nearest time actually? So actual time will be what? Because this clock is fast, so actual time will be something less. So it has to be 7 hours and some minutes. Now this you have to calculate, 7 hours and some minutes. What would be that minutes? But if you look at the options, you don't have to really calculate it. If you see here, what are the options? 8, 5, of course not possible. Clock is fast. 8, no, the clock is actually faulty. So not 8, 8, 2 is also not possible. Answer becomes C, that is 7:55 p.m. So you don't even need to solve it properly. Even this works. That is just understanding, is it ahead or behind? That's it. If you want to do, you can do the calculations. So calculation works like this, that you do 65 5 by 11 minus the meeting time. So whatever is the meeting time, then upon meeting time and into the number of hours that you are taking. So 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. how many hours? 12 hours. Each hour has 60 minutes. Now if you calculate this, you put the meeting time. What is the meeting time here? So meeting time is 65. So 65 5 by 11 minus 65 upon 65 into 12 into 60. That's it. 65 cancel out. 5 by 11 upon 65. So it will become something like this. So it will become 5 by 11 into 65 into 12 into 60. Now again, you should not be calculating it. If you observe this, the options are too far away, 5 minutes at least. Then what you can do? You can simply take this 1165 and 1260. This is more here, 65 is more than 60. So approximately they will be somewhat equal. You can just cancel them out. And what you get? You get 5 minutes. But the thing is, again you will have to look that is it fast or slow. That will always remain. Correct? Now, because it is 5 minutes fast, that's why the original time will be 5 minutes less, that is 7:55 p.m. That's it. Then next is this. It says a wall clock A wall clock moves 10 minutes fast in every 24 hours. Okay, the clock was set right to show correct time at 8 a.m. on Monday. When the clock shows 6 p.m. on Wednesday, what is the correct time? Okay, so now in these questions you don't have to do anything. You just have to manage that how wrong is it per minute basis or in a day. In a day, how wrong the clock becomes. So now just simple mathematics. A wall clock is 10 minutes fast in every 24 hours. So that means in 24 hours it becomes 10 minutes fast. Correct? This is fine. Now that means in 1 hour how fast it becomes? It becomes 10 by 24 minutes fast. Fine till here. Then it says the clock was set right at 8 a.m. on a Monday. So now we are talking about 8 a.m. on a Monday, and where we have to go? We have to go till 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. We have to go on 6 p.m. Wednesday. So 8 a.m. Monday, 6 p.m. Wednesday. How many hours? How many hours? Now, first thing, you go from 8 a.m. of Monday to 8 a.m. of Wednesday. This is exactly 2 days. Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday. Correct? So this is 2 days. 2 days is what? 48 hours. So 48 hours is of course there. Then from 8 a.m. of Wednesday to 6 p.m. of Wednesday. How many hours? 8 plus 4, 12. 12 plus 6 is 12 plus, sorry, 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Then 12 plus 6, you get to 6 p.m. So how many hours? 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is actually 10 hours again. So that means you add them both from here to here. What is the time period? Time period is 48 plus 10, that is 58 hours. Now, if it is 58 hours, now I calculate this. So basically, now I try to find that in 58 hours, what will be the change? So change will be 10 by 24 into 58. Because in 1 hour, it was 10 by 24 minute fast. So in 58 hour, how fast will it be? So very simple. How many times you can cancel this out? You can cancel this out 12 times, and this goes 5 times. Then this goes 6 times, and this goes 2 times. Correct? 1 will remain with 19. With 18, it will go 9 times. Then 29 into 5. 29 into 5 is what? 290. So that means 145 by 6. Correct? This is the time that you will get. Now, how many times this will go? This will go 2 times. 2 will remain with the 25. This will go 4 times, and then some point something. So that means 24 minute is what is how wrong it is. Correct? It was 10 minute fast in these many hours. Then in 58 hours, it is actually 24 minutes fast. So now, how fast is this? It is 24 minutes fast. Correct? So now, if this clock is showing 6 p.m., what is the correct time? So this clock is again fast. So the correct time will be something less. So I'll have to subtract. So I subtract 6 p.m. minus 24 minutes. Answer becomes 5:36 p.m. Answer is A. Understood? Very simple method. You just have to calculate that in 1 hour what is the error, then in whatever range how many number of hours are there, that you can find and get to the answer. Simple. Then yes, Dheeraj, correct. Yes, Anurag, correct. Then next is this. So a watch loses 2 minutes in every 24 hours, while another watch gains 2 minutes in every 24 hours. Okay. Now, these are 2 clocks. One is gaining 2 minutes every 24 hours, so this is plus 2. The other is losing 2 minutes every 24 hours. Now, at a particular instant, the two watches showed an identical time. Identical time may be anything. Let's say they both showed 8 a.m. So this was 8 a.m. here and 8 a.m. here as well. Correct? In both the situations, it is 8 a.m. Then it is asked, which of the following statement is correct if 24-hour clock is followed? If 24-hour clock is followed, then which is correct? This you need to find. Okay. Now it is the question, if you read the option, it is about the two watches show identical time on completion of how many days? This is the options. Show identical time in completion of these many days, it goes on like this. Now, it is also written that this is a 24-hour clock. Correct? That means it will go on for 24 hours. So 24-hour clock, that means you here just won't have 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Instead of 8 p.m. you will start having after 8 if you count. So it becomes like you do na 18, 19, 20. So it will, instead of 8 p.m. it would rather show you 20 hours. This you might have seen in railways and all, correct? So this is a 24-hour clock. Now, first understand it using this clock only, that how the time difference is being managed. So this is plus 2 every 24 hours. So this is the first time it is set. Then what do you think the next day will happen? The next day at the correct time, when the real time is 8 a.m., what will this clock show? This clock will show 2 minutes more. So this clock will show 8:02, while this clock will show 2 minutes less. So it will show 7:58 a.m. Correct? Then again the next day at 8 a.m. what these will show? This will show 8:04 a.m. and this will show 7:56 a.m. Now, can you observe something? Can you see that the time difference here 8:02 and 7:58. So this was 4 minutes. Then 8:04 and 7:56 it became 8 minutes. That means every day time difference of 4 minutes is created every day. If this is so, if time difference of 4 minutes is created every day, then when will they show exact time? Now see, this clock is becoming faster and faster. Correct? It will start showing more and more time, and here this clock will become slower and slower. So it will show less and less time. Correct? So this is like two bodies, one is moving like this and the other is moving like this. So they cannot just directly meet somewhere in between. They can only show the same time when the time difference between them is of 24 hours. This is the only possibility. Then only what can happen? So it will be, this clock, the faster one will be showing, of course the days are not shown. So it will show 8 a.m. Wednesday, while this one will show 8 a.m. Tuesday. Correct? Then only they can be showing same time. There is no other way. They cannot meet in between. So basically, you have to create time difference of 24 hours. Now, if you get this, so basically what is happening here? 4-minute time difference is created every day. So in one day, the time difference created is of 4 hours. In one day, the time difference is 4 hours. What time difference you want? Sorry, in one day, the time difference created is 4 minutes. What time difference you are looking for? You are looking for 24-hour time difference. 24-hour time difference is 24 into, each hour will have 60 minutes. So 24 into 6 is 1440 minutes. So you are looking for 1440 minutes, while the time difference is actually 4 minutes in a day. Now, how do I get to 1440? Simply I have to divide this. So 1440 divided by 4, how many times? 3 times, 2 remains with 20. This is 6 times and 360 days. Now, if you want, we can also multiply both sides by 360. Let's multiply. So this I multiply with 360. This also I multiply with 360. What I get? That in 360 days, what will be the time difference? The time difference will be 4 into 360. That is 1440 minutes. Understood? So that means when will they show the same time? After 360 days. Now first option says after completion of 30 days, wrong. 90 days, 120 days, wrong. All are wrong. Actually it will need 360 days to show the same time. Understood? Now once you get this, now a short trick to get to the same answer is this. See this. So if it is a 24-hour clock, when will they show the same time? When the relative time difference between them in a day divides 1440. That means, now see how it is working, how this formula works. So basically this is 1440. This, how you got 1440? Now you understand. This is 24 hours into 60 minutes. So 1440 now divided by relative time difference in a day. What is the relative time difference in a day? So now one clock was moving 2 minutes faster, the other was moving 2 minutes slower. What is the relative time difference? Plus 2 minus 2. It is 4 minute time difference every day. So 1440 divided by 4, answer is 360. If it was a 12-hour clock, you just take 720. Now using this, you can do any problem which looks much more difficult just orally or just by doing one simple calculation. Now if I say that one of the clock moves 5 minutes, becomes 5 minutes fast every day, the other clock, let's say, becomes 3 minutes fast every day, then when they will meet, correct? Then what you have to do? Again you have to take the relative time difference. What is the relative time difference? 5 and 3, correct? So 5 minus 3, the relative time difference is 2 minutes. What you have to do? If it is a 24-hour clock, 1440 by 2, that means in 720 days you will get this. Okay, understood? So this is how it works. Simply you have to take different cases and find it out. For 12 hours 720, for this 1440. This is it for the chapter of clocks. Yes, Anurag. Yeah, that is why the answer was D. Okay, so ultimately when you are revising this, chapter, what you have to revise? First, of course, the questions. Otherwise, this is one formula and these two note points. After this you will directly revise this part. That is, for 0 or 180, number of hours in range minus count for the perfect times when you have that particular angle, correct? That gives you the number of angle repetition. For any other angle, 2 into number of hours in range minus count for the time, 1, 11, whenever you have, let's say this was for 30 degree, that will give you the number of angle repetition. After this, then you come here for faulty clocks. If meeting time is given to you, this is your formula, gain or loss. And if 24-hour clock, 12-hour clock is given and there is some issue with the clock, if it is comparison between two clocks, when they will show two time, when they will show, so this is comparison between two clocks, when they will show same time, this, that, these are your formulas. So using these 4 or 5 concepts, you can do all the questions of clocks chapter. Okay, that is it for clock. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay. Yeah, Nandini, welcome. Okay, okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me on my Telegram channel as well. Okay, I'll upload the handout of this complete handout on my Telegram channel only, and there in the comments you can ask any doubts that you have. Okay, that's it for this one. Yes, this is enough for CSAT. Okay, in fact, I have taken this clocks chapter like the more difficult questions also. Okay, otherwise mostly it is not even taken. So this what you learn here is enough, nothing beyond this. Okay, that's it. Thank you, Shweta. Yeah, okay.